Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
The Daily Compliance News for March 10, 2021, the Tribute to Roger Mudd edition. And we're going to save that story for the end. And we begin with an article from the Wall Street Journal that President Biden will name antitrust scholar Lina Khan to the Federal Trade Commission. She is a noted critic of big tech's market power, and it's a move that could signal more aggressive application to ensure competition. She is the author of a relatively well-known law review article which says that Facebook, Google, Alphabet, etc. Have such market power it results in less innovation and fewer choices for consumers, leading to a weakened democracy. Public Policy, or Public Citizen rather, said the nomination was a hopeful sign that the Biden administration intends to take a more aggressive approach. Senator Mike Lee, Republican from Utah, called it a deeply concerning potential appointment. So interesting to have this high-profile, anti-tech and a big tech person nominated to the FTC. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, more shareholder proposals could reach ballots under new SEC proposal. In the article, it reports that shareholder resolutions on environmental and social issues could find more support from the SEC's new leadership. This had been extremely curtailed during the Trump administration, who basically told shareholders to take a fly and flip, and that they would have no rights to bring proposals forward to corporations. Shareholder resolutions or requests from investors to management are usually voted on at shareholder meetings. Of course, they are non-binding, but they can nudge companies to make changes, and the Trump administration was against anyone having any say in any corporate governance issues, no matter how badly the corporations are run. So some of the light of the sunshine may shine into corporations, as shareholders may be able to bring matters to a heel for vote. From the BBC, the fallout from the Greensill matter continues, and it's very troubling that Liberty Steel boss Sanjay Gupta warns over huge losses, and indeed the collapse of Greensill Capital may put his companies at risk and could cause significant job losses for Liberty Steel and other firms. He said the group was taking prudent steps to manage cash and was seeking new funding. Liberty owns 12 steel plants in the UK, and they were working with their unions to perhaps see if something can work out. But the Greensill said in a filing that Gupta's operations were in financial difficulty and defaulting on debt, which of course means he needs more money to run his operations. And our final story is about Roger Mudd. If you're of a certain age in the news-watching public in the United States, Roger Mudd was about as ubiquitous as anyone, save the person whose seat he thought he was going to get, Roger Mudd. He was the number 2 at the CBS Evening News. He subbed in for Walter Cronkite on weekends and when Cronkite was on holidays. When he was passed over for Dan Rather, he left CBS and went to NBC for a short time. So to Roger Mudd, I really enjoyed you on the CBS Evening News. Farewell. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.